Welcome back to the Fit Coach podcast, the show where we help men drop 5 to 20 kilo of body fat, build a lean, strong physique, and optimize their health, hormones, and habits so they can lead in life with more energy and less stress. Now, today's episode is a special one. I'm sitting down with one of our long-term clients, Ieuan, who's been on our Fit Coach program for nearly 2 years. His journey is raw, it's real, and it's incredibly inspiring, especially if you're a man who's ever felt stuck, frustrated, or just not like yourself in your own body. Now, in today's podcast, we're going to dive into what life looked like before Ieuan made the change, the mental, the physical struggles he was dealing with, what pushed him to finally take action, and how he's managed to completely transform not just his body, but his mindset, habits, and lifestyle. Ieuan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, mate. Much appreciated.
How's it going?
Not too bad, mate. Just plodding along as always. Not long got home from a very, very tough lower body session, but we hit four plates on the hack squat per side, so very happy with that. So yeah, you got me at the right time.
For sure. So let's just start from the beginning. Can you actually tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, your profession, and where you are in terms of our Fit Coach program and the 5-phase metabolic system?
Okay, my name's Ieuan Davies, and I'm 28 years old from Newport, South Wales. I'm currently a commercial director in the steel industry for my dad's company, funny enough. But on a day-to-day role, it's mainly a lot of selling and buying as a trader's role. However, before that, I was working in recruitment, working very, very long hours, which I'll get to in a bit. But regarding joining Fit Coach, I've been with Jack now for, as I think he's mentioned earlier, just over 2 years. And I'm currently in phase 4 investment, which looks at muscle building. So that's my current path. But I've been through all the 5 phases, maybe not mastery, but I've done the first 4 a couple of times. But yeah, that's where I'm at now. So I've done the dig a couple of times, so I know how rough that can be, but very, very rewarding.
Yeah, so for context, the dig is phase 2 in our high performance health program within our 5-phase metabolic system. And it does look at fat loss. Generally speaking, most men will drop 5 to 20 kilo of body fat during that phase. And Ieuan, I appreciate you sharing with us sort of your profession, your age, where you're from. I'm curious, before you joined our program, what did your day-to-day life look like working in the steel trade, and not necessarily thinking about health and fitness, but more so your profession?
Profession. Okay. So my profession involves a lot of buying. So usually my first half of the day, I usually get up. Well, beforehand, it wasn't always the healthiest. I used to get up, usually go to Greg's, get usually get the baguette deal and maybe a couple of yum-yums. So nutrition wasn't spot on there. But we... on a professional day-to-day basis, I get into the office 10 to anyway. There's a lot of emails to get to reply. And then the job of the front of the day is searching for new products to sell. So a lot of calls and a lot more emails. And then once we have products to sell, we work out our price range and we sell them on to our customers. So we're like the middleman. So we're selling the product onto the end user, essentially. But yeah, main bulk of it is a lot of emails, a lot of calls. Can be very long hours and a lot of face-to-face interaction as well. So I tend to travel a lot with this job. So I could be in Ireland for a little bit, then to Scotland a couple of weeks later, then I could be in the Midlands somewhere, and obviously that can be very, very, very tiring, but really rewarding, because I find face-to-face interaction in business is one of the most key principles, I think, just to keep the relationship going, essentially.
Was fitness and health something that you really focused on when you were traveling globally to meet clients, or did it kind of take a back seat for a while?
Oh, I took a backseat 100%. Like once all the meetings were done, you would tend to find me in the hotel bar. That was something I used to do a lot. I used to enjoy a lot more alcohol back then. So yeah, my fitness did not take a front seat. Like whereas now I probably spend my spare time doing a bit extra cardio or steps. Beforehand, it would have been in the bar, and obviously would have been traveling. Didn't really take nutrition into account, so I'd be going to services, just getting any sort of fast food, any like sugary coffee. So yeah, fitness 100% took a backseat when I was away.
So it's fair to say that business was at the forefront of your mind and
Yeah.
your health and fitness, it did take a back seat. What made you start thinking, I need to make a change? Was there a moment where you just thought, enough is enough? Now's the time that I want to take action?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Like it got to a point where I reached like my heaviest weight. I think it might have been, I don't know, like mid 80s, early 90s, something like that. And I just looked at myself. I thought, yeah, something needs to change. Just felt terrible, like in the mental side of things as well. Like my mental health took a bit of a dip. Anxiety was quite high, so something had changed, and I just knew if I got myself a bit more physically active, I would not just transform, like yeah, physically, but also up there as well.
Can you actually describe to me what was hard about that time? Because you mentioned that it affected you physically, mentally, emotionally. Can you give me any examples?
Examples in what sense? Any more? If any specifics?
So, for example, in my health and fitness journey, during COVID, I actually went into my back garden. I was 107 kilos at the time, and the neighbors had actually jumped over the wall and they were making comments about the way I looked, and that impacted the way that I felt. So, ultimately, that's why I wanted to take action with my health and my fitness and lose over 30 kilos. So, I guess it stems from the environment that you were in. So, can you actually describe what was hard about that time? Because it seems to me business was your main focus.
Absolutely.
Nutrition took a back seat. You weren't training. I quote, you were heading to Greg's. You'd have multiple coffees in the morning to kind of keep that super sharp laser focus. What changed? What was hard about that time?
The hard part was just like no longer, wanted to see what I saw in the mirror. That was tough, man. That was tough. Like before, I could used to get changed and like I'd look in the mirror and be like, yeah, happy with that. But it got to that point where it was like, nah, definitely not good, not good. I didn't really want to look at myself in the mirror whatsoever when I had my top off, and that for me, I never reached that point in my life, and so I thought, yeah, that's definitely another change. And I suppose another thing stemmed from it as well. A lot of my mates were in shape as well. And I think I just remember being at the beach one day and like, I think I was definitely the heaviest there at that point. And yeah, confidence was at an all-time low. So yeah, also that would have played a part as well.
How did that make you feel knowing that you were almost a black sheep amongst your friends? They were in shape and you weren't.
Yeah, it didn't feel great. Didn't feel great. Made me feel like bottom of the pecking order a little bit, just in like the physical terms. But yeah, it wasn't a good time. Something definitely had to change from there.
So, what was the hardest part then about getting started? Because you mentioned there something needed to change. You've talked about your confidence, your energy, your relationships, whether it's with friends, family. What about with your partner and your body image? Was that ever affecting your relationship, or was she there to support you, guide you, motivate you?
To be fair, like knowing my wife, she'd be there to support me like throughout any, no matter how I looked, and she used to always tell me that back then as well. So she's always been my biggest supporter. So I don't really doubt that. But it's just me in my own head now, thinking I still want to look good, like regardless. I know she'd like to see. She doesn't. It doesn't bother her essentially, but so she says. But yeah, I really did want to change for myself more so. But the fact I could look better for my partner, just it's a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And it sounds to me that this was an internal battle with how you looked and how you felt at the time. I'm curious, what was the hardest part about getting started? Was it motivation? Was it time? Was it your mindset? Because as a director of a steel trade company, you must have a lot on your plate, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But the hardest part for getting started for me, and just as in terms of getting a transformation now, like before I got to my heaviest, I spent a lot of time, maybe my later uni days, trying to get in shape, like on my own. Like I spent a damn good time on it, but I got ever so far, but I never got to that final point where I had abs. That was, I had a shredded look about me. Didn't have that whatsoever. I got decent amount, and it was just like starting all over again. Even though I got like it's like the thought around to start and do it all over again because I did spend like a fair amount of time, and it's mad because like what I achieved within FITCOACH in the first 4 months, I achieved like in 2 years I've done on my own. But yeah, I think it's supposed to just try starting again after like failing so many times. Like I thought, nah, it just seems so much effort, and like when you go online, there's so much conflict and stuff in the fitness industry. So, and I can sometimes be an overthinker and juggle stuff in my head. Absolutely. So I'm thinking if this says that, this says that, I'm just juggling a load of thoughts. I get overwhelmed, and then I just don't bother.
So why don't you tell us how we actually started chatting and why you wanted to join our FitCoach High Performance Health Program after our back and forth conversation?
Yeah, because I think the first time you might have reached out, I think I might have told you that I'm happy on my own, and then I think that was when I first started, like at the start of January, and then a couple of weeks later, you had some sort of some free workout. I thought I'll give it a go. This guy's in good shape, and then we just got a conversation flowing. I thought this guy knows what he's on about. I thought I'm going to give him the time of day and jump on a call. Turns out one of the best things I ever did.
I appreciate that. And for context, we started chatting probably, it was January 2023, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So we had initiated sort of conversating in 2022, sort of around, I think it was November or December time. And then January, I put out a free fat loss formula, which is to help guys drop 5 to 20 kilo of body fat without restrictive dieting. And the first time that I said, hey, did you want a copy of this? It was like, no. But the second time around, as soon as I put it on my Instagram story, it seems like you were interested in that and you downloaded that. But from there, we sort of booked in a call. I didn't pitch to you. I said, this is how the program works and this is how we can help you. And I guess from there, why don't I ask you this? What were your first impressions? So when you joined the coaching program in 2023?
First impressions, very good question. Like, I thought I had obviously had a look at your page, and I thought this guy definitely knows what he's doing and can get people in shape. So obviously I had some element of initial trust there already. And then after the call, we had a conversation, liked the sound of it, and then I thought I'm going to give this a go and I only think I had the intention of 3 months, right? I think it's only 3 months. Whereas those 3 months progressed, and how much I was learning from you, and like when I realised, damn, this guy knows his shit, and I thought, yeah, 100%, I'm staying on, and like the trust and the rapport just grew and grew and grew, and so did like my physical and mental transformation. So it was just on an upward spiral from there.
What's funny is that when Ieuan jumped on our initial health diagnostic call, he mentioned that he wasn't really fussed on doing cardio or going up the steps. And I think it's fair to say that present day, your lifestyle has massively changed for the better. Would you agree?
100%, mate. 100%. Like someone who didn't want to go do steps, like every single morning now, I'm out there doing I always get 3,000 steps in before I even start work. I refer to it as the morning 3,000. So that's something I always do. Like, I'd never would have caught me doing that 2 years ago. You'd have just caught me, grabbing a McDonald's or Greg's breakfast instead.
If you could give us a comparison between before starting the program and present day, 2 or 3 things that you were doing and now you've changed for the better, what would it be?
So the stuff I was doing before. Okay. Probably at least 2 takeaways a week. And now, I still like to have a takeaway every now and then, but once every other week, something like that. So, but yeah, the amount of takeaways I was having in a week has definitely decreased. And I suppose that comes into like my breakfast routine as well, like getting Greg's. I suppose I was doing that most days, so that's more than 2 takeaways a week. I just mean like one's at home now with the wife. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. So I lived a very, very, very sedentary lifestyle. Right, I don't know how many steps I was hitting before. It's probably less than 3,000 a day. And I'm doing that now before I even sat down and had my morning coffee. So that's definitely something. Fitness as well. It's very nice to see I'm a lot fitter now. Like I can run longer distances. Like I was playing tennis the other week, and yeah, like I just wasn't getting fatigued whatsoever. Like I played all the whole way through. So my fitness improved through the implementation of a bit more cardio, which is definitely something I needed. And just strength as well, to be honest. Before, before I worked with FITCOACH, I don't think I ever pressed anything over 30 kilos, like on a press movement. Now it's like I can do double that, maybe a little bit more, which is fantastic. So yeah, just a lot more stronger as well. And I think a lot of nutritional areas as well. I didn't eat nowhere near enough fruit or veg either. Like my diet was very, very poor in like the nutrients. Whereas now, like I love eating a lot more healthier foods. It's just become embedded in my lifestyle now. Like I just do it without a second thought.
What kind of goals did you have when you first started out? Because it sounds like since sort of reeling them off, you've pretty much achieved everything that you were set out to do. But just to make sure that we're crystal clear, when you joined the program, what was your primary goal? And was there a point early on where you thought, wow, this is actually working? It's actually getting me a result? Because you mentioned that there was conflicting information online from other influencers and coaches, and you weren't necessarily sure what to do.
Absolutely. So, sorry, can you repeat the question again? Sorry, mate. I got it.
Yeah, no pressure. So what kind of goals did you have when you first started out? What was the primary goal where you thought, I need help, I need to join this program so I can achieve that goal?
My goal, I think I remember saying this on that discovery call, I just really wanted just to get trimmed down and have visible abs and have a confident body on the beach. It was as simple as that. Like I was never like didn't want to go as far as making this a long term change. It was just a matter of just, I just really, really, really wanted to have abs and get in shape.
And was that to seek external validation from your mates, or was it an internal battle with
Probably,
how
yeah.
you looked and how you felt when you walked past the mirror?
Internal and some external, I suppose. Because like no, I'm not afraid to admit, like it's always nice when you receive compliments from other people. Like once you've made a physical transformation, it's great, and so that's obviously a good side. So obviously there's got to be some external factors in there going on, but internal definitely. It's always a mental battle I've had in my head. Like I've tried to achieve this so many times and just never did. Never did on my own. Only did when I started with FitCoach. I did achieve that, and I realised not too long in the program, which I remember that was the second question. Now it wasn't very long because I remember because what I liked what you always did every single week you would have my first visual compared to like the one I sent that week, and it was just linearly getting better and better and better. Like the scales was going down, body composition was going up. It was brilliant. So yeah, it didn't take me very long. A matter of like 2-3 weeks, I thought, damn, this is good. Like I saw like very good changes just off them two first couple of weeks.
Talk us through the conversation that we had probably 6 months into the program where I proposed an idea of doing a photo shoot, and it's something that you've never done before, but you were open to the idea. Talk us through exactly your thought process leading up to photo shoot day and how that day impacted the person that you are now.
Oh, massively, yeah, absolutely. But leading up to it, it was a very, very tough, challenging time. And I'm not really on about the exercise or the nutrition side of things. I mean, that was tough, don't get me wrong. But it was more the mental side. Am I in the right position to be jumping in front of the camera? Like, am I good enough for this? That was the main question going through my head. Am I going to be lean enough? Like, am I going to look good on the camera? Am I going to have these photos and I'm just not going to be impressed with what I look like? Which definitely wasn't the case.
Yeah. Yeah, you managed to drop, I believe it was around close to 15 kilos of body fat from the start of the program to photo shoot day over in London. That was the first photo shoot you'd ever done, right?
That's correct.
You'd never done a photo shoot before. You'd never got photo shoot condition. And I would actually say you managed to breeze through the process because we made phase 2, the dig, very linear. We made it sustainable, but also we pushed you in the right direction to be able to get into that condition and actually, I guess, test some of the things that you hadn't seen for the last couple of years, having just primarily focused on business. Is that fair to say?
I'd say that's fair to say, absolutely.
So how has your relationship with fitness and food changed over the last 2 years? Because we just talked about your first photo shoot, but you have another photo shoot coming up at the end of this year, right? 2025.
For sure.
So how has your relationship with fitness and food changed leading up to this photo shoot now?
I'd say it's improved dramatically. Like, my knowledge on nutrition is a lot better now. Like, I'd say it's just, yeah, like I thought back in the day I'd have to eat like certain foods. Certain foods will magically turn to muscle. Like, absolutely, I read it all. But, like now I know, essentially, you could drop body fat, with any food you want as long as you've any caloric intake, essentially. But, like, in return to my own relationship with food, it's improved dramatically. Like, I know, like, it's kind of hard to put, I don't know how to word it, but like I can go out for a meal now, be in a calorie deficit, and come out of that meal knowing I haven't messed up. Because before I'd have thought I've gone for a meal, I've ruined it now, ruined my progress, and then binge starts, I thought it'd be all done. But now I've got that knowledge and understanding, it's like helped me so much more. Because that's probably where I was falling off on when I was working on my own. The lack of knowledge of nutrition I had.
How does life feel different now, knowing that you have the tools, the knowledge, the skill set to be able to drop body fat, build muscle, and improve your relationship with food from an energy standpoint or from a confidence standpoint?
Oh, I'd say, sorry, can you do the question again? The first bit I lost off. Sorry, you have to very edit that out. I want to answer it properly for you. That's all.
Yeah, hey, no problem. How does life feel different now?
Okay. How does life feel different now from the knowledge? Oh, from the knowledge I've got. Right. Well, I just value it so much more now, without a doubt, because it's like knowledge that I'd always wanted to have, and spent so many endless hours researching and trying to find the right answers, and just end up getting disappointed with the stuff I find, because there is a lot of BS out there in the fitness industry, and it can be quite overwhelming. So to go to someone who knows exactly what they're on about when it comes to training, nutrition, mindset, everything in that area, and to pass that down to me as well, I'm very grateful for it. very grateful. And that's from a mental standpoint and energy standpoint. I've never been better. So yeah, it's great.
That leads me on to my next question, Ieuan. Have other areas of your life improved as a result of getting in shape?
I'd say so, yeah. I'd say so. But like socially, like I've always, I've always had a really strong circle of mates. But like it's been able to me to do like get involved in more activities that maybe I might not have done before. Like I like put myself forward for like basically, long story short, this put me out of my comfort zone, and I'm a lot more open to getting out of my comfort zone now. Even it's just like going out with mates. So like like we had a game of frisbee the other week, and I thought I can't be asked for that. That involves too much effort. Whereas now we're straight in there, like just let's go, let's have it, like a dog now. So yeah, massively improved, and yeah, just overall better relationship with my partner as well. Just feel mentally better. Like sometimes I might a bit like from being so burnt out at work. Like sometimes I just leave me to being tired and fatigued. And unfortunately, like the people who are around me might have to face my wrath sometimes. But I don't tend to get there anymore. Not at all. Like I am just in the best possible mindset I've ever been in.
And you've talked about your partner a lot today. It sounds to me that she's supported you throughout this process. So what are you most proud of when looking back on your journey? And I actually want to jump in here and give you an example. Getting in shape for your wedding, right?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. And I got something actually that relates to that. But this is the year before, so I remember like when I got my photos back for the photo shoot, and I sent them to my fiance at the time, his wife now, and she was on a hen do, and she opened the photos, and like her responses were pretty insane, like capital letters, like wow, like all the love hearts saying like I get to marry him and all that like nice stuff, like probably one of the best feelings ever. To be honest, it was mint. Like confidence just went straight up. It felt amazing. Like yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, and it's an absolute privilege to see you grow over the last 2 years and actually blossom into something I genuinely thought you might not be able to get to. Because when we were on that initial health diagnostic call, as a coach, we don't judge a book by its cover, but we listen to sort of the feedback that you give us. And some of the things that you were saying were, I don't want to do my steps, I don't want to do my cardio. And I think that sort of stems from the person that you were compared to the person that you are now. So my next question is, if you could give a message to the version of yourself before this journey, what would you say to him?
I'd say it's all going to be all right in the end. Genuinely would. Generally though, I would. That's what I'd say. I'd say, yeah. When Jack Fit Coach messages you, bloody reply. It's going to be a damn good. It's all going to be uphill from there.
What's next for you now, Ieuan? Now that we've built that foundation, we've got a photo shoot at the end of the year. Why don't you talk us through that?
So yeah, absolutely. So I've been currently in a gaining phase for the last, best part of 5 months. Obviously I had to do a little mini cut in between, but yeah, the best part of 5-6 months. And this is all in preparation for this photo shoot. We've got another, just over a month. It might be 2 months. Yeah, 2 months. In the off season, and then end of June we are going aggressive. We're going to get ourselves in the best. Well, myself in the best shape I've ever been in. That's exactly my goal this year. I'm going to, I just want to look even better than I did the first time. That is the goal. And yeah, we are. We're going to be underway with the cut soon. So going to have to take charge, get my head down, and get it done. But that's what I love about it. I love working towards something, especially something like that. So yeah, all in. I'm ready to go.
Do you feel that getting in shape has impacted the way you are in business in terms of meeting clients and firing on all cylinders?
Absolutely, for sure. Because sometimes like before, I thought I needed alcohol to even boost my personality and confidence when I was going to these meetings. Therefore, I got in shape. But as I started training and like my confidence improved, so did my social skills. Like the anxiety sort of went as well, and I was just securing a lot of business like on the road. It was great. It's fantastic. So yeah, absolutely.
So I just want to jump in there. You weren't drinking alcohol in the meetings, right? These were one-to-one client meetups where you would talk about trade, and you'd go to a restaurant or a cafe, and you'd have an alcoholic beverage, right, over a meal.
Absolutely,
you wouldn't be drinking through meetings, right?
No, meetings, different story. That's completely off the ball game, right? So what I mean by that is obviously with most of our clients, when we tend to meet out, we tend to go out for a meal. So we tend to have a couple of drinks there here and there. But like that's what I mean. I thought I'm more about social scenarios now as opposed to business, I suppose. Even like just for like friendship groups and stuff. Like before, it revolved around. All we used to do was go out, get steaming, and that's it. Whereas now, that's not what we're about. Like I used to think I need alcohol to sort of bring that person out, to get my personality out and everything, but I don't need that whatsoever. And getting in shape has definitely helped that, because by enhancing my mindset and confidence, like my social skills just went straight up.
Sounds to me that you're living the dream. If your meetings are at restaurants and cafes and you're having an alcoholic beverage, you're having a big juicy steak and you're in shape, firing on all cylinders, your health's in a really good place, you're making deals every single day, living the dream, right?
Yeah. Doing good.
Yeah. Ieuan, what would you say to someone listening who feels stuck or overwhelmed like once you did?
I'd say definitely get someone to hold you accountable, and someone that person to hold you accountable with good knowledge and good skill set and a good understanding on how to drop body fat, build lean muscle, improve your mindset and confidence. Find a professional who knows how to do it, and then learn from them, absorb it all like a sponge.
Yeah. Ieuan, I really appreciate you jumping on today's podcast. It's been an absolute privilege to talk through your journey before FitCoach and on our high performance health program over the last 2 years. On a personal note, being your coach is great, but I guess I've also gained a friend during that process, and I just want to congratulate you for completing the 5-phase metabolic system and really pushing hard towards this second ever photo shoot, which is going to be in London at Bailey Studio. So Ieuan, thank you very much. Where can people find you on social media? Because you've just started coaching, right, as a result of getting in shape.
Absolutely. So I thought, why not start a little side hustle up and help some other guys who are exactly like me, because I want to try and help as many people as possible, because I know how overwhelming this is. And you can find me at Ieuan Davies Fit on Instagram.
Fantastic. Ieuan, thank you very much. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for listening today. If you're a man wanting to drop 5 to 20 kilo of body fat, build a lean, athletic body, and optimize your health and your habits, you can hit the link below to book in a free health diagnostic call. On that call, we'll run through a training and nutrition strategy to get you into the best shape of your life and optimize your health, your hormones, and your habits. Or if you want a free copy of the exact fat loss formula, which Ieuan downloaded almost 2 years ago now, which kick-started his journey in health and fitness, which will guarantee you lose 5 to 20 kilo of body fat without restrictive dieting, just comment formula below this episode and I will send it across. That is it from me today. If you enjoyed this, share it with a friend, leave a review, or message me on Instagram. I always appreciate hearing your thoughts. Until next time, stay lean, stay strong, and keep pushing forward.